I would like to speak to you about a huge personal loan from Rocket Loans. $45,000, that's the maximum limit. I want you to stick around because you're going to love this conversation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to speak to you about a gigantic personal loan from Rocket Loans, maximum limit $45,000. This loan is open to all kinds of credit: low credit, no credit, fair credit, average credit, good, all kinds of credits. Before I get into the actual nitty gritty, please understand that this conversation, we are not affiliated. We have no relationship to Rocket Loans. They're not paying us for this video. This video is purely instructional, educational, and informative. So let's talk about the loan facts here. So when we talk about 45,000 maximum limit loans, you have unsecured loans, co-sign loans, and debt consolidation loans from Rocket Loans. The amount oscillates between $2,000 and $45,000. The APR fluctuates between 5.97% and 29 and 99%. And then that's of course with autopay. You got to have autopay. In terms of fees, they do charge an origination fee. The term 3 or 5 years, and the time to funding 1 day. And in terms of extra conditions, they want you to have a minimum FICO of 560. And the cool thing about the Rocket Loans process is that everything happens online. You have a simple and secure online process, and they offer, of course, same-day funding, and they have instant offers, so you can get pre-approved within seconds. Think about it, within seconds. Fantastic. And there are no hidden fees, no prepayment penalties. What we love with Rocket Loans, this 45 grand maximum limit loan, is that you have same-day funding available. That's the pro. You have a rate discount if you opt into autopay. You got to do that. I strongly suggest that. They do have a soft credit check with pre-qualification. They do offer a 0.3% rate discount for setting up autopay. You want to have that. And they offer small loans, again, as I said earlier, as low as $2,000. So if you don't want the 45 grand, it's still okay. You can still get 2 grand. What about the cons here? Now, they do not accept co-borrowers, so you only have individual applications. They do charge an origination fee, and you have limited repayment terms, right? If you remember, I was telling you that you can only choose between 3 or 5 years, nothing more, nothing less. And there is no option to choose or change your payment date. And no co-sign, as I said, joint or secure loan option. Now, let me talk to you about this lender at a glance. So when we speak about Rocket Loans, who are they? Again, folks, I'm talking to you about a gigantic personal loan from Rocket Loans. The loan limit, the maximum limit is $45,000, minimum $2,000. And this loan is open to all kinds of credit profile. And so when we speak about Rocket Loans, what are they? They are actually the sister company of Quicken Loans, okay, an online lender based in Detroit and founded in 1985. So this has been a while now, as everybody knows Quicken Loans anyway. And we love the fact that they offer fast funding and competitive APRs, and so everything happens online, okay? And they have received, this company, Rocket Loans, has received several accolades based on our research. For example, they have accolades for best bad credit loans, best debt consolidation loans for bad credit, best debt consolidation loans, and the best emergency loans for bad credit. So I'm not saying they only specialize in bad credit loans, but what I'm trying to say here is that they have a wide constellation of loans on the books, and those loans cover the whole 9 years. They cover the whole credit gamut from low credit to excellent credit. And after evaluating this lender on tens of criteria, including the loan variety, loan amount generosity, the cost, the reputation, the customer service, we assigned Rocket Loans a score of 9.5 over 10. And our judgment was actually corroborated by other reviews. For example, if you go to Trustpilot, you would see that they got 3,652 reviews as of the date of today of this show, and the rating was excellent, 4.9 star out of 5. And if you go to Triple B, the Better Business Bureau, they also received 4.91 out of 5 average. And this came from this aggregate score came from 203 customer reviews. So we're not saying, and we have spoken rather to several other experts in the industry and people who actually borrowed from them from Rocket Loans, and everybody said that the process was very simple and they do run a very tight ship there. So this is pretty good, excellent lender to consider. Let me talk to you now about the eligibility criteria. Okay, if you want to qualify, let's say you are interested in this massive personal loan from Rocket Loans, you want to get the $45,000, or you want to get something in between $2,000 and $45,000. Okay, what are the personal loan requirements? So you got to think about. So as I told you, there are two processes, right? When you think about Rocket Loans, there are two processes. The first one is the pre-approval, so the pre-qualify. If you want to get the pre-qual, you got to provide your name, current address, your income information, your social security number, and your date of birth. And when you decide, so this is for the pre-qual, the first step. And then if you decide to submit a full application, so you'll be typically asked to provide your bank account information, your driver's license, your pay stubs, your bank statements, and your tax forms. Let's just actually dig a little deeper here. So your income information is very important for Rocket Loans. So they want to pay attention to your pay stubs. They want to pay attention to your W-2s, how long you've been working with a company, whether this is a full-time job or a part-time job, whether this is a seasonal employment, all that kind of information. They want to have an idea of your stability, your professional stability, because it has an impact on your ability to pay, right? Your ability to pay back the loan. They also want to have your bank account information. Usually they ask you for your last three bank statements. And if you have an account with a reputable bank, that's even better. You can even have an account with a partner bank, with a bank that has partnered with Rocket Loans. They may also ask you for your tax form. So here we are talking about your last three annual tax returns. So that will be your 1040s, and one thing they pay attention to is your Schedule C. So if you have a side gig, and you're just working here and there, or let's say if you have a regular business, they want to see that too. So in this case, they will not only want to see your 1040, but they also might want to see your 1120S or 1120C, as well as your 1065. So anything you can give them to allow them to do research on you to grant the loan, that's fantastic. So remember, for the pre-qualification, you only have a soft credit pull. But once you decide to go full on with them, they will do a hard pull. Let's now talk about use of loan proceeds. So again, folks, I am speaking to you today about an enormous personal loan from Rocket Loans, and the maximum amount is $45,000. Minimum amount is $2,000. All kinds of credit profiles are welcome, and if you have poor credit, don't worry. You can get a loan from Rocket Loans. You might not get the 45 grand that I've been telling you, but you can get something in between, which is always good anyway. So what can you use the loan for? So a loan that you get from Rocket Loans, you can do a lot of stuff with it, and you can actually use it for debt consolidation. You can use it for home improvement. You can use it for auto expenses. You can have other uses. For example, you can use it for business, for moving in or moving out. You can actually also use it for major expenses. You can use it for business purposes, right? 45 grand is a lot of cash, depending on the business you want to open or the business you want to run. You can actually take that money and just to run your business. And you can use it for medical expenses. What we've seen is that Rocket Loans has had they've had a lot of success in their home improvement loans. In other words, a lot of borrowers love taking a loan from Rocket Loans to do home improvement. In other words, you can use the loan if you need to put a new roof on your home, for example. You want to purchase new furniture. You want to update a room in your home. You want to build a new garage. You want to add rooms onto your home. So there is a wide constellation of purposes you can get the loan for, and depending on your situation, this might change. So, and we've also seen that medical expenses can be a biggie when it comes to nightmarish scenarios from a financial perspective. In other words, it's the kind of expenses that nobody wants, nobody expects, but they happen, and they could actually ruin you very quickly. So a personal loan from Wells Fargo helps you avoid that, helps you actually stay financially afloat while you're trying to figure out how to make your next move and take care of your medical expenses. So they can actually help you, give you temporary breathing room here. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Suited Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation today about a massive personal loan from Rocket Loans. Maximum loan amount $145,000. Minimum loan amount $2,000, and all kinds of credit profiles are welcome. Now let's talk about the evidence needed. What kind of evidence does Rocket Loans ask? So remember, folks, the loan application form has two steps here. So you have the pre-qualification step. During that phase, they ask no information. They don't ask you for any kind of evidence. You just give them your social, your address, and preliminary data for them to for the algorithm to look into their database and other databases and see what kind of info is available on you out there, and make you a proposal, make you an offer, a loan offer. But once you review the covenant of that loan, the terms and conditions, and you are comfortable with that, then you, at that point, you would need to actually provide the kind of evidence I'm going to give you right now. So, loan application form. So you're going to have to fill an entire loan application form. It's not a lot. They will ask you information about why you're applying for the loan, how you use the loan proceeds, what kind of assets you need to purchase with the loan, the kind of standard question that you get in any loan application. They also might be interested in knowing what other personal debts you have and who your creditors are, right? And of course, as I said, remember that they do not allow a joint loan application, okay? So Rocket Loans also might want to have some information about your resume. So they might ask you for your resume and pay stubs, of course, any kind of information that could explain your professional journey, your professional situation. That will be welcome. And they will need financial statements. They will need income tax returns, right? So when I talk about financial statements, I'm not speaking about going and paying an accountant hundreds of dollars to create something that complex for you. No, you can do it in Excel. In Excel, you have templates. You have financial statement templates that you can use, or you have a free software out there, and you can use those to create your own financial statements. And when we speak about financial statements, we're speaking primarily of three tabular representations. So we have a balance sheet. We have an income statement, also called statement of profit and loss, and then we have a statement of cash flows. And the cash flow statement it's important for Rocket Loans because they really want to see that you will generate enough cash to cover your loan repayments, your loan payments. Okay, this is pretty important. And one thing I also want to say here is that Rocket Loans does not allow refinancing with its personal loans. So this is important. You're not going to be able to refinance a personal loan with Rocket Loans. They don't do that. This is just one of those things they don't do. But other lenders do, but Rocket Loans does not. I want to talk to you now about how to apply. Okay, let's just dig a little deeper here. Again, I'm speaking to you about what? I'm speaking to you about a very massive personal loan from Rocket Loans. Maximum loan amount, $45,000. Minimum, $2,000, okay? And if you have poor credit, good credit, fair credit, doesn't matter, you can still qualify. And so to apply for a a record loans loan, you can actually do things via email, through a web form, or over the phone. And remember that the entire process, the entire loan application process, can be completed online. And you gotta be a permanent resident who is at least 18 years old, and or a U.S. citizen. Remember that the majority age in Alabama and Nebraska is 19 years old. Okay, so you got to be 19 in those two states. So you to apply, you just go to we're showing you on the screen right now. On the you can see, so they ask for general information. So what kind of general information they ask for? The kind of information that you would provide to any kind of lender. So they want to know things like what is the loan for? Do you rent or own? Your employment status, your personal annual income. For them, it's very important to sort of gauge your liquidity level. They ask for your current address. Okay, they ask for your number, your first name, last name. That kind of important. And here you can see the types of loan usage that are available. So you can get a record loans, personal loan for debt consolidation, to pay off your credit cards, to pay off other loans, to pay down mortgage, home improvement, home repairs, medical expenses, business, auto, and others. So you just need to choose one of those. And one thing you also need to do here is that there are other things you need to be aware of. So you have to put your date of birth, your email address, your social, and you just once you do that, you can click on See My Options. All right. So what will happen here is that the algorithm will search for the best loan for you based on your situation, and this is the pre-qualification process I was speaking to you earlier. So once you see your option, once the algorithm gives you options, you just see your option, review, and choose the loan that you want. You just need to sign the promissory note and send it to Record Loans. From that point, they will do a hard pull on your credit. They will check everything in and out. Now, let me give you a few pro tips. If you want to increase your chances of getting the loan from Record Loans, and again, folks, I'm speaking to you about a very gigantic, a colossal personal loan from Record Loans, and the maximum amount is $45,000. The minimum is $2,000, and all kinds of credit profiles are welcome. And if you really want to increase your chances, that you want to understand, first of all, you can call Record Loans. You can have a conversation with someone over the phone and ask more information about the loan before even applying. That way, you're saving money and not you're saving time and money and not wasting your energy on something that wouldn't work out. So you want to ask them the kind of documents they're looking for, because even though you can do everything online, sometimes it's just better to speak to someone so that you can clarify certain things, certain questions that you have, and you can do things a lot better and faster. Okay, you want to demonstrate to Record Loans that you have sufficient cash flow. They do pay attention to that, and a good way to do this is by showing them that you have a very low DTI. And DTI stands for debt to income ratio, and this is actually the percentage of your disposable income that you allocate to debt payments. Okay, so that tells the lender a lot whether or not you are financially fit. And experts actually recommend a DTI of less than 40%. So let's just say 40 cents out of every dollar that you have in disposable income should be used to repay debt. So it can be 30%, 20%, it doesn't matter. You also want to maintain good credit along the way. Whether you before, during the application, or even after the application process, you want to maintain good credit. This is important. You want to keep your documents in order. We have said this time and again. It's so important to keep all your documents in order. You can keep them on the cloud online, or you can keep them physically at home, but you got to have them. And by documents, I'm speaking about things like your income tax returns, your business tax returns if applicable, your financial statements, your financial statements, your income tax returns, your bank statements. Very important. Okay. All right, folks. this is it for today's conversation. I was talking to you very rapidly about a massive personal loan from Record Loans, maximum loan amount $45,000. All kinds of credit profiles are welcome. So I gave you an overview of the situation, the loan facts. I gave you a synopsis of Record Loans, the eligibility criteria, the use of loan proceeds, the evidence needed, how to apply, and some pro tips on how to successfully apply, how to get the loan that you need. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I really appreciate it. I will see you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.